Welcome back to Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition. This week we're going to be talking about drawing number 18, another corner bracket, but this time it's going to be made out of sheet metal, so stay tuned. All right, you asked for it. We're bringing it. I've been asked quite a few times about doing some sheet metal models, so today is going to be one of our first kind of tutorials on sheet metal, and it's bringing us back to number 18 of our Blueprint Bootcamp Tournament Edition series. So let's jump on into Onshape, and we will see what we have going on. So if we take a look here, here is our drawing that we will be doing today. We are going to be doing in, our units are going to be inches, pounds, and seconds. It is a corner bracket like we've had before, but this time it is going to be a sheet metal bracket. So you can draw this whole thing without using a sheet metal function. So if you're doing this in some, maybe like Tinkercad or some other type of 3D CAD system that doesn't have a sheet metal function, it's still possible. You just have to know how to do some stuff. So we'll talk about a little bit of that today. But basically, this is the general shape, 4.5 by 4.5, and we're going to come up and over. We got to cut out a 0.625 by 0.625 square out of the corner for a relief, for when we have those bends kind of go so they don't interfere. Our thickness is going to be 0.25 or 1/4 inch all the way around, and we have these little legs come off our flanges at 1.25. So I'm going to walk you through how to do this. And it's going to be a little slower than most of our drawings because I am going to be introducing that sheet metal piece. Like it says today, what is the mass of this part in x.xxx pounds with a tolerance of 0.001 pound. So let's switch over to our drawing and we will get started. All right, once we are in Onshape, the first thing we're going to want to do is start a sketch. So we'll start on that front plane, doing Shift and S to start our sketch, and to normalize, and P to hide our planes. And this time we're going to start with a little bit of a cutout. So I'm going to use the corner rectangle by pressing the letter G. I'm going to select my origin and I'm going to press the letter Q. Go ahead and zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. And this time I'm going to do 0.625, enter 0.625. And the reason we press that letter Q is because this is a construction line. And so we're just kind of helping ourselves out. Next thing I want to do, and because again we're doing this for speed, I kind of want to do this with just a line instead of using a rectangle, because I'm going to be able to do my dimensions as I go. So I'm going to start here, go over. I'm going to do that real quick. So I'm going to shut off my construction lines. We'll do letter L. We'll draw a line over, draw a line down. We'll draw a line over. We'll go up 0.75. I'm going to go over here. We'll line up with this end like so, 0.75. Then I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to select both of these lines and say equal. It's kind of going to help us out a little bit. We'll zoom back out. And we have our general shape. And now all I have to do is go from my origin to my end and say 4.5, and I get my overall shape. So I can check one more time for my origin to here, and we already have that. And notice it is a driven dimension while we have our driving down here. So that's the shape I need to draw. I could have done it with a rectangle and then cut the corner, but this was a little easier for me to kind of visualize and be able to draw. So we're going to go ahead and accept the sketch by clicking the green check mark. And now we're going to follow up here to the top. We are going to do this using the sheet metal model. So you'll have this drop down next to your search tools, your custom features, and then you have your model tools, your sheet metal model. So we're going to start it by making it a sheet metal model. We come over here, we get this, and you have convert, extrude, and thicken. Convert takes 3D parts that you already have and turns them into sheet metal models. Extrude is going to take a single line and do that, while thicken is going to take our sketch and make it 3D. So if we look here, we need our thickness on our metal needs to be 0.25, which I already have in there, and our bend radius needs to match, because if we look back over here, I'm going to jump into our drawing again, you'll see that we have 0.25 of a radius on the inside, and then our outside radius is 0.5. So if you did that simple math, it's going to be 0.25 as our bend radius, which gives us that 0.25 wall thickness all the way through. So if we jump back over into here, we have 0.25, 0.25, and we're going to say accept. And now we have a 3D part, but we need to add those flanges. So our next step is we're going to go again up here to the sheet metal model. We're going to click flange, and we'll get this menu. And this time it's asking us edges or side faces to flange. So the way that works is you kind of zoom in and you pick your edge. So I'm going to pick this bottom corner right here, and I'm going to look at this from the front, and you'll see that when we originally drew this drawing, that line was our outermost. So I got to play with this flange alignment, and if I go inner, it's going to put that line inside of the flange. Outer is going to make that the outside. If we look middle, it's going to center it, and hold line is going to put the bend to the outside of that, which is going to be way bigger than we need. So what we need is outer, to where that line is the outermost part of our flange, and our distance needs to be 1.25. Now the benefit of doing this in the sheet metal view is if I click back up here, I can actually do both flanges at the same time, because they are the same thickness, same depth. If one was a different thickness, then I would have to do a separate flange, but because they're the same thickness, this is kind of cool. We can do them both at the same time. So we're going to say okay, and we have our overall shape. Now our next step we need to do is we need to add these chamfers. We need to cut these corners. Now you can use this chamfer tool. However, in the sheet metal model, there is corner break, and with corner break you have fillet or chamfer. And what's really cool is you can real quick select each one of these like so, and you don't really have to move a whole lot, and you can get a lot going in one specific view. So I got all four corners, and that needs to be, if we wanted to do equal distance, two distances, or distance and angle, we'll do distance and angle because that's what it tells us on the thing. A distance of 0.25 and our angle of 45 degrees. We'll say okay, and we get our shape. So I'm going to right click, assign material, come down here, custom materials. We need to be plain carbon steel. We'll say okay. And if I jump on into my weight, I get a mass of 1.353 pounds, which is correct, with a tolerance of plus or minus 0.001. So you can have anywhere from 1352 all the way up to 1354, or 1.352 all the way up to 1.354 pounds, and that is acceptable. So that's going to be that sketch right there. Now, I want to show you also how you can do this without using the sheet metal view, because maybe you're still just trying to learn the basics. So I'm going to start a whole new part studio, create a part studio, and we will do this again without any sheet metal tools, the way I kind of learned to start. So we can still start on that front view, shift and S and to normalize, P to hide those planes. And the way I traditionally did this was I started with a rectangle, corner rectangle, and I went 4.5 by 4.5. Then I came in with another one, 0.625 by 0.625 in that corner. I was then able to come and trim that out. I took a line, drew it across, trimmed those out. And to save myself time, I'm going to select both these lines and say they need to equal one another. So I only have to dimension one of them to 0.75, and it will pull in. Now, just to prove it, we have 0.75 up there as well, and we are good to go. So there's our overall shape. Okay. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to offset this line by 0.25, and luckily that's our default. I'm going to offset this by 0.25, and now I can extrude. So what I'm going to do is our thickness needs to be 0.25, so I'll say 0.25, enter, but this time I want it underneath my shape. We'll say accept, turn my sketch back on. I'm going to select both of these pieces, extrude that up, and overall it needs to be 1.25, so we can leave that as 1. And now I have my shape here. Next thing I need to do is round my corners. So if I'm going to do a fillet, I'm going to click here and here, and that radius needs to be 0.5 on the outside. And I do it again on the inside, not that one, on the inside, and that one needs to be 0.25. We'll say okay. So now I have my piece done like so. Last but not least, we need to do our chamfer. So I could come over, and again, I'm going to chamfer that corner. Move this a little bit, there we go. That corner, and that corner. And that needs to be 0.25, 45 degrees. We'll say okay, and we have our piece. So we are still the same. We'll check our mass. I'm going to apply, select, apply. Come on. There we go. Assign material. Our material needs to be the plain carbon steel. Say okay, and we'll measure our part. And again, I get 1.353, which is the same answer. So another cool thing you can do is if you bring both over into assemblies. Actually, let me change this one really quick. Change the color. Let's make this thing, not appearance, add the whole appearance. Let's make this one like an orange color. Come into assembly. I can insert both part 1 from Part Studio 1, and you'll see the reason we're off a little bit is because of the location of one model versus the other. One was using the origin in a slightly different way. So the way we'll show this is we'll do like a fastened mate, and we'll take that piece and that piece, we'll throw those together in the same spot, and you'll see the reason we get that zebra kind of look to it is because it's trying to render both models at the same time, but they exist in the same spot. Now, just to kind of show you how I would know it was off, you're like, well, how do you know the difference? I'm going to pick one and just slide it just a hair. So anywhere where it's kind of rough like that, they exist in the same spot. Well, since I slid that one over, this looks clean by itself, this one part, right? So anywhere it's giving you kind of that crazy, psychedelic looking tie-dye look, they exist in the same location. Anywhere where it's solid, it's off on its own. So if I undo that movement, you'll see the whole thing is tripping out and showing me different views, but it is the same model all the way throughout. So that's going to do it for us today. I really enjoy doing these. It's kind of a good workout for me to stay on top of my game and figure out different ways to do this. I know a lot of you guys have been reaching out asking for stuff. I know there's a few of you guys that are jumping into this at the end of your school year. I know Mr. Wood's class out in Illinois. Hopefully you guys are having fun with the packet. Comment on this video if you're working on it, if you're struggling or whatever. You guys are doing some cool stuff, and I look forward to seeing what you guys can do with your Onshape endeavors and how you make stuff happen. If you're a teacher as well and you want to learn how to do some of this stuff, shoot me an email. We're about 3-ish weeks from summer, and I do summer classes for a workshop that I do for our Ag Teachers Association. But I'm looking to do more. If anybody wants me to come out and teach you guys how to do some stuff, or you want to do some Zoom calls, haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that yet. But if you're interested, if that sounds up your alley, shoot me an email. Let's talk. Let's figure something out, because I love doing this teaching thing and I love teaching Onshape. So that's going to do it for us. I will see you guys next week. Take care.